This is Jared for Into Boxing. Delighted to be joined by heavyweight prospect Solomon Dacres. How are we, Solomon?
More good, man. Thanks. Yourself?
I'm good, thank you, mate. Big fight coming up for you. Obviously, you return now on the Chisora Pulev undercard on July the 9th. You've been out now since, if I'm right, the Smith Fowler card was the last time we've seen you. You've been out since then. Can you shed us any light on how come you've taken a bit of hiatus since then?
Yeah, I obviously had three fights last year, starting my pro career, and I had a little shoulder niggle that was probably there for a good 12 to 18 months. Didn't think it was nothing too bad, but it was niggling me the whole time, all through the fights, training. Some days I couldn't spar, some days I couldn't, do the certain work I needed to do without the shoulder flaring up. And it turns out I had a little tear in the rotator cuff tendon, so I just had to take the decision to just get that fixed. I was boxing through it, but I needed to just take that step back so that I can push on and really start, training harder than I needed to, and that my shoulder could hold up to the work that I was putting in. So I just got that sorted, and now we're ready to go again.
You feel it, like, since obviously having it all sorted, I'm assuming you training must be a lot more intense now, feeling a lot better and you're feeling a lot more comfortable, I'm assuming?
Yeah, that's it. I mean, I was training hard anyway, but there were certain things with the team I'd have to adapt. Some days, with my strength and conditioning coach, I'd have to, pull off a bit of the upper body stuff, spar certain rounds. Some days not do the bag work or the pad work. I was managing it, you know what I mean? And now it's just all systems go. I'm flying. I'm just training every day, and I'm just putting everything into it.
Brilliant. I just want to talk to you about your last fight. I'm assuming, you're wanting to move through the gears quite fast now in the professional game. And your last opponent was Kamil Sokolowski, who, let's be honest, is quite known as a bit of his record doesn't really suggest his actual ability. He's got a bit of a losing record, but I'd say he's been in with some of the best. And that was your third fight. Just how was that fight, really? Because obviously a lot of people talk highly of Sokolowski.
Yeah, it was a good experience. I knew going into it that he was someone that he doesn't, he's hardly been stopped, I think, at the point 3 times in 30-odd bouts. And he's been in some big punches that haven't stopped him. People like David Price, for instance, big punches that haven't stopped him. So I knew it was going to be a tough one. And I just knew I just had to get the win, box, do what I needed to, show my skill set, and I outboxed him comfortably.
I was just saying, it's a testament really to show how fast you want to move through the division, obviously. But moving on from here, obviously you're going to have this fight coming back now. I know an opponent hasn't been formally announced just as yet.
Yeah.
So obviously, are you looking to be getting the rounds in, to make sure the shoulders all healed up completely?
Yeah, it'd be good to get a few rounds in, see what opponent they chuck at me. But obviously, I'm a heavyweight. I want to start, I want to get good knockouts. You know what I mean? That's what seems to drive the numbers up, the views. But in terms of, I've got a long career in the game. The rounds are good for me because where I'm looking to go, I'm looking to become a 12-round championship fighter. That's what I'm aiming to be. So the knockouts will come. This guy next to him, I'm going to be going for a knockout. I want a good stoppage on my record. But if we get the rounds in, it's going to benefit me. I might not get as many views on, social media if I don't get the knockout or blistering knockout. But if I'm getting the work in and I'm improving, that's the main thing.
Obviously, heavyweight sort of the division that everyone likes to watch, don't they? Like you said, they produce a big knockout social media. Yeah. But I think it's being quite underestimated, just how much the British heavyweight scene is, how much it's come on. Obviously yourself, now you're breaking in towards the top end of it, you say you want to move up into it. But you got fighters here like Nathan Gorman, impressive win last time out. You got, who else? You got David Adelaide, who had a big win at Wembley. You got all the names coming up and through. Fabio Wardley, another one. How long do you reckon it'll be until we start seeing Solomon Dacres in with them?
Next year, end of the year, next year. To be honest, I'm looking, those guys are doing all right, but I believe I'm going to be levels above them. I'm looking at the top of the tree, world level, top of the tree, and then next year, I'd love to be, taking out the British guys, putting myself up. But if you're the top fighter in Britain heavyweight, there's more chance than not you're top of the world. Look at how we've Tyson Fury at the top, we've had Josh at the top for a long time. So getting to the top of the British heavyweight rankings, you're putting yourself up there as the world's best.
Absolutely. So as well, talk about that, British, you're from Birmingham. Obviously, same with Matchroom. Birmingham haven't really had any. I think the last card Matchroom did in Birmingham was Khan Vargas in 2018.
Yeah,
Are
yeah.
you looking to be the man to bring big nights back to Birmingham for Matchroom?
Yeah, I really hope so. You know, I want to get big nights in Birmingham, get big fights on. We've got good fighters in Birmingham, and I've got myself, who I believe will go all the way. And if I can build myself a heavyweight in Birmingham, you know, we're a massive city. We just don't seem to get the boxing following as much. You know, like your Liverpools, your Manchesters, for some reason. But hopefully, those things can start trickling into place now, and I'm someone that can hopefully rally it.
I was going to say, because like, if you look at the crop of Matchroom fighters from Birmingham, you got the three Yafai brothers who were brilliant in themselves, and then you, like you've absolutely got names here that can easily headline a bill. And like I said, is that what you wanted to do? Like make a big name for yourself in Birmingham, make fighters want to come to Birmingham to fight you?
Yeah, definitely. You know, every fighter dreams of, you know, having big fights in the home city.
Yeah.
You know, aside from, you know, the big Vegas fights and such, big fights in your home city means something to you. So it's something that I definitely want to bring myself.
I was going to say as well, with your fight coming up now, the Chisora card, a massive card from Matchroom again. Um, you've been part of quite the big cards, really. I think you were part of the last Sky Sports Matchroom show, and that was where you had your first knockout, if I remember rightly. You know, you're part of the Smith Fowler thing. So, how important is it to be on these big cards to get the exposure?
Yeah, it's very important. You know, something that I need the exposure because I'm a Team GB heavyweight. I was on there for 4 years. You know, the top amateurs in the country, and as a pro, I need the same backing. You know, to show that the talent and the caliber that I'm at. So I need to be on these big shows and being pushed because I believe I am one of the world's best prospects and going to be a world champion.
Yeah, it's brilliant to hear that, like I said, because the Team GB setup, you know, it's second to none, really, isn't it? So, if you're coming out of that into the programs, 9 times out of 10, you're looking at the top of the game. Hence why you were scouted straight away by Matchroom, you know, one of the biggest promotional companies in Britain. But then going on about your next fight, obviously, been a heavyweight, it's always a talking point. I must ask your opinion on the fight at the top of that bill, Chisora Pulev 2.
Yeah.
Have you got a thought on that one?
Well, you know what you get, which is all right, excitement. I know Pulev beat him a few years ago. You know, Pulev's, you know, he's knocking on a bit, and Chisora's, you know, knocking on a bit as well. So, you know, Pulev's got a great jab. He can control Chisora maybe, but you know what Chisora's like. He's gonna come winging him in, and you know, if you've got to beat him, you've got to have to work for it. And you know, we'll see what Pulev's got left in the tank as well. But it's going to be a great fight either way.
I agree with that. Like, to be honest, Chisora, I'll be personal opinion. I thought he might have retired after the Parker fight because it was a very, very intense fight. But it's so good to see him back. But obviously, is that a fight like you saying you want to move quite fast and that, like, even though you have got a long career here? Would a Chisora fight maybe in the next 2 years interest you?
Yeah, if he's still about, he's got a big name and he's got a, you know, lot of experience. So you know, I wouldn't say no to any fight like that because if it's something that can propel me further, then why not? I'll fight anybody in the heavyweight division. Obviously July, I'm just gonna sit back and watch and enjoy it. You know, if he's still knocking around, you know, come next year and it's something that I need to go past, I'll go past it.
Yeah, with the heavyweight division, I must ask, a big fight's been announced. I think it's hard not to talk about it. The rematch of Joshua Usyk 2. Have you got a thought on that fight at all?
It's just got to be interesting to see what changes Joshua does. I think he needs to make more changes than Usyk. Usyk, you know, he won the first fight. He had the game plan right. You know, he can probably improve on certain things himself, but it's just going to be interesting to see what the change in order to with Garcia in training Joshua and all that business, how he's going to come out. So could go the same way or it could be something completely different. We'll have to wait and see.
Exactly. Well, we all know what the fight we want to see after that one is, the winner to take on Tyson Fury.
Yeah.
Is your opinion, would you say, you said earlier, Tyson, you believe is at the top of the tree. Do you think either of these men, like Usyk or Joshua, whoever comes through, could challenge him, or would you think Tyson's a level above them all?
They could, you know, it's all hypothetical until they've been in the ring. You know, people can say, "Oh, he's the best," blah blah. But if until they fight each other, you don't shoot. You know, it's heavyweight boxing, anything can happen on the night. You know, anyone's got a chance. You know, Fury has shown supreme boxing quality over everyone else. But you know, until the fight happens, I couldn't say here or there.
Yeah, I can't really argue with that one at all. So just to close out, just for viewers who may not, I'm sure we all do know who you are, but for viewers who might want to pick up their interest in your next fight, what can we expect from you on July the 9th?
Yeah, you can see a heavyweight with great skills, great movement, hand speed, power, and great technique. Someone that's really bringing skills to the heavyweight division. That's what you can see from me. Some great skill set, great engine. Trying to throw it back to Ali days. Not saying I'm nothing like Ali, but some real skill in there. I'm improving all the time, and tune in to watch me, and I'm sure I won't disappoint.
Brilliant, Solomon. Thank you very much for your time. I'm sure you're busy, obviously back in training camp. Thank you for speaking to Into Boxing, and all the best on July the 9th.
Nice one, appreciate it, mate.